My name is Antoni. I've been with Aleph since the beginning, and my primary role is around business, marketing, operations, and also making sure that on the front end products work as intended and are designed as intended. Aleph is a privacy enhancing blockchain. So we started with an L1 back in 2018. The idea was to build a consensus protocol that directly solves the challenges around scalability, decentralization, and security, and create the best mix out of all of those. And then we always thought of privacy as the fourth major challenge that current blockchain use cases and infrastructures face. So this is something that we've been focused on as well. So in short, Aleph is now EVM compatible also, and we're solving privacy and performance for as many Web3 developers and crypto developers as we can find. OpenFi, from my perspective, is a combination of fintech and crypto, where we get to benefit from all the open source protocols as users, and are able to build a complete product suite or product stack out of the things that we've already developed as an industry over the years. And what this means essentially is that we are en route to open source banking, that we are en route to open finance. Right, we all like using fintech apps, but this is still very much centralized, obviously, and with open finance we are able to ultimately, hopefully, pick and choose what we want to use and how we want to use it. With regards to challenges around OpenFi versus TradFi or any DeFi movements versus the traditional movements, I would say the primary challenge lies around first understanding what the core value proposition is, because it's still difficult to explain to people outside of the space what self-custody really means. Then if they do understand it, then there's a problem of UX, there is a problem of essentially inability to use this in a way that is as simple as centralized solutions. So that boils down to proper UX and different security different security guarantees associated with that. 5-6 years ago, we were educating the general public that the safest way to store your seed phrase is on a piece of paper, and then you have to take that piece of paper, make 3 copies, and store it across your family, which is, frankly speaking, quite insane if we're talking about onboarding normal people to the space. And now with this advent of abstraction and different UX improvements that we're seeing in this space, we do have a shot at taking OpenFi and self-custody finance more broadly and being able to head-on combat and sort of engage with the legacy solutions. I would say the prime example would be Common, which is a privacy-enhanced decentralized exchange that we're building. It uses privacy for essentially economic incentives. So it helps with privacy-enhanced order books, where you have limit orders executed in a non-custodial way. Then from the mobile app perspective, Common is going to be somewhat of a aggregate of the best protocols that we have in the ecosystem, all boiled down into a very nice, easy to use front end. And this would not be possible without a proper identity solution, right? Because whenever you talk about on-chain privacy, if you want the users to not have compliance issues, you do have to have some sort of proof that the fund's provenance is coming from a legitimate source. What excites me about IDOS is the ability to use user-owned credentials. If I'm just my own person, right? If I want to use Web3 crypto exchanges, whatever I want to do at the moment, I have to redo KYC if it's a centralized product at every opportunity with every product that I'm interacting with. So, that data resides somewhere. First, it's inconvenient to do 5 different processes at 5 different platforms. Then it's kind of weird that somebody has control over my data and I don't even know how it's being used. Third, the lack of interoperability of that data is also a giant hassle in the long run. So to sum it up, what excites me about IDOS is the perspective of my credentials being my own, me being able to selectively disclose what's absolutely necessary to prove that I'm myself to a service provider, a product, a protocol, or whatever it might be. And then to know that all of those are private in the sense that they belong to me and that I know exactly what I'm sharing and that that data cannot be then reused without my very explicit confirmation. There is a stack that we're working on which is also inspired by IDOS, and it's called ZKOS. The idea is that we effectively build a privacy framework that will allow other projects, other apps, other protocols to use it without rebuilding everything from scratch. At the moment, the privacy landscape requires you, for the most part, to, if you want your app to be privacy enhanced, to rebuild it from scratch using quite frequently an exotic tech stack. What we're aiming to solve is that you can ideally use this on a privacy as a service basis to be able to plug the privacy into whatever you might need. I would say focusing on long-term values that have been present in the space since its beginning would be really great to have. I sometimes feel, especially lately, that we're forgetting what we're doing sometimes and focusing on more of the casino mentality, which I understand, but it's not really the thing that crypto is supposed to be about. Definitely getting involved with OpenFi partners that were announced today alongside the IDOS fundraise. This is a great starting point. You can definitely try experimenting with different crypto debit cards as an example. Gnosis Pay is one of them, Holy Held is the second one. Then from within the Aleph Zero ecosystem, starting with Common is a great idea to get a hang of or get a deeper understanding of what is this all about. And then we're going to make sure that collectively the public gets properly educated around OpenFi and its benefits as compared to traditional finance.